maybe this is the reason why some people say North Africa is actually North Africa. North Africa is Not Africa. You know, those Tunisia, Libya, Morocco, Egypt. If you look at the way they run their country, actually, they are not like sub-Saharan Africa to a very large extent. And even the United Nations and some, international bodies, they don't group them with us. I hope you know.
No, people say it was an accident of nature.
That something divided them. Well, in some parts they are still connected. Places like Morocco, the Strait of Hormuz and all that, they are still connected. Morocco is just like Spain, really. That's the truth. Those guys don't refer to themselves. They are not Africans. North Africans are not Africans. That's the truth. I mean, in some UN sittings, I had the opportunity of attending a particular program some times ago. I discovered that was the first time I came across the word MENA, MENA. I never knew it ever existed. Middle East and Northern Africa. They grouped them together, and then they now grouped all of us. Our kind. They said we sub-Saharan Africa. We are the Africa. Those ones are not Africans. That's life. Now imagine Libya with all the challenge.
And they still stage the protest, but you go to them. It was odd. But without hearing that you had the slightest excuse, it's COVID-19. We cannot pay your salary.
We always have something to claim out to blame. The blame game, and that's our key word here. So that's what some people ask: is the problem in our skin, really, our skin color? God help us. All right, time check 6:55 a.m. Destination time 7:30 a.m. Today is the 15th of September. There's something special about today. Okay, somebody's asking, Abby. Before we open the phone lines, we'll tell you. We'll go to the meat of the news right now. You want to find the first shot?
Presidency's reaction to our intervention disappointing. Say Afenifere, NEF, Ohaneze, Pandef, MBF, and that's talking about the failed state matter stirred by former President Olusegun Obasanjo. Nigerian leaders and elders under the aegis of Pan-Yoruba Socio-Political Group, Afenifere, Northern Elders Forum, NEF, Ohaneze, Indigbo, Pan-Niger Delta Forum, PANDEF, and the Middle Belt Forum on Monday described as deeply disappointing and worrying the way the presidency chose to react to the pieces of advice offered by the groups and former President Olusegun Obasanjo on better ways to move the country forward. This was made known in a statement jointly signed by Mr. Yinka Odumakin for Afenifere, Dr. Akim Baba Hamed, NEF, Chief Guy Ukwoku Ohaneze, Senator Obasi Ensho Pandef, and Dr. Isua Dogo, MBF, a copy of which was made available to the Nigerian Tribune. The presidency had, in its reaction, condemned the Pali, which held last week in Abuja, which featured the groups and Obasanjo, described the former president as a divider-in-chief, for saying that Nigeria under President Muhammadu Buhari leadership was approaching a failed state status, among others. Leaders of the five groups, while distancing themselves from being the mouthpieces of Obasanjo, said it was left for the former president to choose how he responds to the lamentable response of President Buhari to his initiative. They declared that they had no regret or apology to offer for making themselves available to dialogue with each other, exchange ideas, and recommit themselves to pulling the country from the brink of precipice of no return. Presidency's reaction to our intervention disappointing, say Afenifere, NEF, Ohaneze, Pandef, MBF. That's on page 2 of the Nigerian Tribune.
And I was going to ask that because it was not just Obasanjo that was in that meeting. Those other groups were there. Akim Baba Ahmed was there from the Northern Elders Forum. So I was waiting for those people to also respond, and they just did just that.
And it's true for the presidency to actually think that all these people could be puppets whose strings have been
pulled. Can they all be wrong? Is that possible? Is it possible that everybody will be wrong and only you sitting in Azorok, you are the only one that is right? Really?
And like they said, would people of such credibility and integrity actually be mouthpieces of former President Olusegun?
Will he buy Akim Baba Ahmed? Or is it these middle belt people will buy? Well, I hope. I think I'm going to still stand on the response or suggestion of a political party that they should listen to the voice of reason.
One thing particularly has been catching my attention over the last few days, or the last few weeks actually, the Northern Elders Forum and also the Arewa Consultative Forum, they don't seem to be on the same page in recent times.
When they are killing people, taking their children away.
So who are the Northern Elders? Are
they can't keep.
They are the victims.
I think it's just a set of people who can't continue deceiving themselves. That's the truth. They just have discovered that, see, if we continue to keep quiet, we are the ones that will eventually lose. They know. It's obvious. It's just obvious. I mean, somebody said something about, Mr. President's home state, Katsina, and how bandits are roaming and all that. I mean, do at least, for record's sake, do something about your own home state security-wise. So these elders who are in the north, they don't live in the south, and know what is going on, have decided not to keep quiet. It's their choice anyway. You can say Obasanjo is a Yoruba man, he's down south, he's saying this, but how about people like Hakim Baba Ahmed in the north? Hakim Baba Ahmed is not just one ordinary person. He's a university, he's an academic, aside participating in some political and quasi-political activities. These are people whose voice matters in the north. And if they are saying that, Mr. President, we are not comfortable with the way things are going, I think it's important, again, I'm going to reiterate it, that they should listen to the voice of reason.
So are we beginning for the first time to have a divided north, a north divided over issues of pressing national interest, which hasn't been happening before? Or is it about the educated elite in the north now coming to find their voice, as in the real educated elite this time around? Now, recall what happened to the former emir of Kano. Well, it was as if he talked too much and he had to pay the price of forfeiting.
He's still paying the price. He was sent on exile, removed from the throne, and all that. They know. I can assure you, Tola, even there's a saying in Yoruba that two people, I don't know how to say it, if everybody does not know that you are lying, you know. Okay, so they know, and that's why I feel these people are age mates with Mr. President. Some of them are even older, actually. I think he should listen. Yeah, they know what they are talking about. These are not people who are fighting to, maybe because they wanted to contest, in 2023. No, they are not interested in it. Okay, the most important word here is that, what do you see, you people? How can you be of help? What should we be doing that we are not doing? All those people who are praising Mr. President, okay, let's see how that ends. Because really, it does not always end well. They will keep shielding him from seeing the truth. If anybody says something, they will go and attack the personality of the person and leave the issue. We'll see how it goes. We'll be here. All right. Petrol price, electricity tariff hikes, TUC. NECA, ASU talk tough as federal government meets labor today. Details of that on page 2 of the Punch newspaper. The Academic Staff Union of Universities on Monday said the federal government had surrendered the growth and development of the country to the International Monetary Bank and the World Bank. That should be International Monetary Fund. Okay. The national president of the union, Professor Biodun Ogunyemi, who said this in a telephone interview in Lagos, said the federal government should prepare for more crisis, as people's anger against the government would worsen as a result of hunger in the land. He also said those running Nigeria today do not love like Nigerians, but relied on the advice of some outside forces. Also on Monday, the Trade Union Congress of Nigeria gave the federal government a 7-day ultimatum to reverse the recent increase in the electricity tariff and the price of petrol. The TUC gave the ultimatum in a letter addressed to the President, Major General Muhammadu Buhari, retired, and dated September 14, 2020. The letter titled, quote, "We cannot bear the burden any longer. Issuance of 7 days ultimatum." End of quote. This was signed by the President, Mr. Quadri Oluyole, and the Secretary General, Mr. Musa Lawal. The Congress made the letter available to journalists shortly after its National Executive meeting in Abuja on Monday. Nigeria not being operated by those who love Nigerians. Lecturers are the ones saying that. And of course, NECA too berated the federal government for not repairing refineries. On his part, the Director General of the Nigerian Employers Consultative Association, Mr. Timothy Olawale, berated government for not repairing refineries. He said what the private sector had demanded was total deregulation, not price control. He said our opinion is that what we have now is not deregulation, it is price control. You cannot say you have deregulated and you are still tampering with the price of fuel. International prices of fuel should also influence the local prices. If the welfare of the citizens is the responsibility of the government, why is it difficult for the government to fix the refineries as it promised before? Petrol price, electricity tariff hikes, TUC, NECA has to talk tough as federal government meets labor today. I think the question from NECA requires an answer. 5 years on, why do we not have at least one major refinery functioning at full capacity?
And the refineries are still gulping billions of naira.
Why is it still so difficult to fix one refinery? I remember when the current the GMD of NNPC, engineer Mele Kyari, came into place. It was moving around saying, in fact, there was a day he said 90 days. I remember that headline. That no, there's a turnaround maintenance ongoing and all that. That was almost 2 years ago when he came into. Yeah, about 2 years ago. We are still spending billions maintaining these refineries, yet not one barrel of crude is coming out from these refineries, at least this year.
The former Minister of Agriculture, there was a video on the internet where he actually stated that if you say you want to repair the refineries and if you say you want to encourage local production and you are not addressing the cabal behind the importation markets, with the collaboration of their international collaborators, so to say, it's better to say in futility. Now we are talking about getting the refineries to work at full capacity, and what about those that are benefiting from importation of fuel?
So those ones too will not allow.
And believe me, they are powerful people. They are powerful Nigerians with their international collaborators. That's where the major problem is. The federal government knows this problem, but
is there anybody above the law? Should there be anyone above the law?
Well, you know the answer to that,
except that maybe there are people who are also in government, right? Because I don't think government should not be able to handle anybody.
There are people outside government who actually pull the apron strings of government and get governments to do their bidding, governments after governments. For me, looking at even the issue of fuel price hike, power tariff hike, and what that meeting they are going to have with TUC and other sectors of organized labor. For me, I wonder why I have my doubts as regard the intent of organized labor to actually agitate proactively on these things.
Maybe they just want to be settled, right?
These are meetings that should have been held before these decisions were taken. Now it's like putting the cart before the horse. These were deliberations that should have been held before these decisions were taken. No matter how long it takes, maybe the federal government just might have convinced them and convinced Nigerians as to why these things.
So after the meeting, they just address us and say,
honestly, I have my doubts.
Status quo ante.
Aside ASU, talking about TUC, and the agitation even in recent times to me has not been strong enough. I'm not advocating violence or violent demonstrations or anything of the sort, but definitely there are ways you would know when you read the body language. These people seem to be dragging their feet on this matter.
Wow. Well, as we open the phone line, Dangote refineries have high effect on fuel price, federal government. And guess who is even saying it? Not the Minister of Petroleum, Minister of State for Petroleum, no. The Minister of Finance, Budget and National Planning, Zainab Ahmed, has said when Dangote's refinery begins operation next year, it may not lead to significant reduction in the price of petrol because it will be selling at the international price, even inside Nigeria. Ahmed said this was because the refinery was located at the export processing zone in Lagos State. Ituma. The minister said this on the Nigerian television program, national TV. She said the only thing Nigeria would not need to pay was the shipping cost of fuel. All right. 08055009850. I hope it will not even increase. This way we are going. 08055009850.
We also want to react to continued bloodletting across the country yesterday. Bandits killed 2 FRSC officers, abduct 10. How the director?
Those are family men. Officers going for, I think, a training or a course at the FRSC training college. Well, I told you we're going to tell you what today is all about. Today is the 15th of September. Today is International Day of Democracy. Yes, International Day of Democracy. According to the UN Secretary General, as the world confronts COVID-19, democracy is crucial in ensuring the free flow of information, participation in decision making, and accountability for the response to the pandemic. That's the UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres talking right there. The theme for this year is Democracy Day in the time of the pandemic. September 15, International Day of Democracy. Our first caller is here.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Aruna.
This is Aruna from Odoru, Ogbomoso.
Nice to have you.
How was your night, sir?
Very fine.
Thank you.
It's raining here in Ogbomoso.
Oh. We're in the studio. It may be raining here too.
So we're enjoying it. Thank God for that. I want to comment on the NUC-TUC meeting the federal government today. I just want to advise them they should please have a meeting that will be of benefit to the masses, to the Nigerians. I wish them all the best.
All right, thank you so much.
Aruna from Odorogo.
All right, thank you so much. It was not NUC or NUTO, it's TUC and ASU, and of course NECA meeting with the federal government. NUCs, they dare not. they dare not. The phone line is still open. Someone else is here.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Dario and Tola.
Morning, sir.
God bless you for the wonderful job you are doing.
Amen.
This is Dario from Okeo.
Nice to have you, sir.
On the meeting held, the conference by Obasanjo and Co. And the federal government is reacting negatively. Well, if Obasanjo is convinced of his opinion that everything is on course, let him go to Katsina and walk freely without any bodyguards. Let him go to Southern Kaduna. Now, these people are shying away from their responsibility, and it is unfair. So let them change. On the issue of the TUC, well, the government should rise to its responsibility and do the needful for these people. Deployment of 31,000 police to Edo State just to monitor elections. Is it monitoring?
Yes, sir.
People are watching, and today is the day. Today is Democracy Day.
Yes, sir.
Is this the way they practice democracy? Well, government of the people, by the people, and for the people. Who are the people?
We the people, sir.
We are the people. What? Government of the armed robbers, by the armed robbers for the armed robbers.
Wow.
Government of the deceivers, by the deceivers for the deceivers. God is watching. Thank you, Dio from okay.
Well, that's the way you see it, sir. Well, that's a bit harsh, kind of. But 08055009850. 08055009850. Someone else is here.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Alagi Ailabogo is on the line.
Nice to have you, sir.
I want to commend your FA government, here the Minister of Education, for the new school calendar. We are so happy. Our children will go back to the school. In fact, the students in the home, especially those in the village, they are so proud of this time. And by this calendar, we believe much will be got into in the terms of education. I just say we continue to be in the forefront. Now, on Edo election, this Saturday, coming Saturday, the election will come up. And as such, there is tension there. And believe me, they are our people. Those are the do there. In order to forestall any unforeseen circumstances, they should start to ring bells on the stakeholders that anything that will make or will affect the life of the people, they should do away with it. That's my own candid advice to them.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Olaji. Really appreciate it. We'll do for another commercial break. Let's go on the break. We'll be back to take more calls. Don't go anywhere.
So I don't write your love friends. Fried rice, pounded yam, egusi,
rice and stew, jollof rice. Thank you. All this plenty kind food one na dey call so. Now wetin we go chop for the naming baby?
Yes, auntie.
See, enjoyment.
No be small.
You see, mama baby, the same way we get different kind of food. Now so we get different kind of child-birth spacing methods. So child-birth spacing go make your belly sweet well, and your body too, it go tanda gidigba. Anyone wey you choose good for body, and you go fit trust am.
Auntie nurse, my jasper don dey talk about am o, but me I dey fear.
See, no culture or religion wey no dey support anything wey go make life better. Make you and your jasper come when una ready. I go dey wait for una o.
Okay.
No forget say anyone wey you choose for childbirth spacing matter dey safe and you fit trust am. Oya waka go any health center wey get the green dot logo to get full information on childbirth spacing services. This message na the Federal Ministry of Health and support from American people carry am come.
So glad to know you're there. Still conversation with Dio and Tola. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll go back to the phone line.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Dio and Tola.
Morning, sir.
Afolabi Onanina is my name. I'm speaking from Ogbomoso.
Nice to have you, sir.
I'm not against Obasanjo's view on government activity, but his method is what I don't like. Obasanjo himself, did he listen to people's voice when he was ruling? Did he listen to people? Was there any government in Nigeria that Obasanjo has not criticized? People criticize Abiola's government that was not inaugurated. He said that Abiola was not the Messiah we are looking for. Remember that Obasanjo was the one who installed Yaradua. Through the politics of who was that? 6 months later, he fell out with Yaradua. Which is cut with Jonathan. After about 9 months, he fell out with Jonathan. Which is cut with the Buhari. They are falling out with Buhari again. And that's a way of life. And his own government is fought with inadequacy. When somebody believes that he is wiser than everybody, then something is wrong. Good morning.
Thank you so much, Sir Afolabi Olaniro. Ismail Lukman on Facebook said, "Good morning, Mr. Diane Tola. Today is my birthday. Oh, happy birthday from Okefia Oshogbo. We appreciate you, Ismail Lukman." Otumba Fadeyi Adeolu Cornelius saying, "Good morning, dear auntie. It's very obvious that the FG is a serial liar." No, we won't take that, please. They told us they have no business in fixing petroleum price going forward. How come they are still speaking on behalf of Dangote Refinery? That one I don't know. I can't speak for the Honorable Minister of Finance. Maybe she has information that we don't have.
She's in government, you know.
So since are they happy seeing us passing through the hardship they subjected us to? There's God do Fadi Yadiolu from Makaka. Thank you. Adetunji S. Latif, thank you. Darasimi Divine, thank you. Adeni G. Oluwafemi Shegun, we appreciate you. We'll take one more call.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Dayo and Tola. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
I wish you good luck.
Amen.
I'm understanding your matters of CSO for Baduluju Sunday.
Thank you, sir.
You see, about our Baba Obasanjo, I don't like to talk too much about the man because he's our Baba. But according to this man that just the time that Baba is on the regime, Baba did not listen to anybody. All the good roads, Baba did it to not. It is not now that we're supposed to do that to Lagos. Baba supposed to have done this. So now Baba now is the person that you see somebody that is old. And he is the one that said this Buhari to us that time 2015. He said the letter should go. Say Buhari is the next person. Okay, now Buhari now grow up. Baba and Buhari they withdraw other side order. Now Baba is not telling us to leave Buhari again. Who are we going to follow? Well, there's another thing Yoruba said ẹni ọgbọ́n ẹni ọgbọ́n ni ọmọ ara wọn. Bàbá èèyàn tó gbọ́n bá sọ fẹ́ ni ọgbọ́n yóò dìjà. Ọlọ́run ní jẹ́ aburú sí ẹ̀sùn lóṣù látàdé lójú.
Thank you. Aji Agbomojo is here. Says good morning, Mr. Dayotola. We have Dangote Refinery which is now ready to reduce. Well, they didn't say they are not ready. It's minister that is talking on their behalf. You know, where is Nigeria Refinery? Well, we have in Port Harcourt and Kaduna, Abi and Wari. They are there. They are just there. Okay. He said the truth is coming out small. Christian Bolao Adio is also here. I like your conversation. Federal government should leave Dangote alone to sell their markets. All what federal government is doing is on call for. Secondly, NLCTUC and others should please help Nigerians during their meeting with federal government because Nigerians are waiting for the outcome of their meeting. They should please stand on their words. Okay. The last Sunday is also here. Well, we'll pick a call before we take these comments. Oh, we lost that. Call back. Do well to call back. Let's go.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. I'm Mr. Kayode. Usually from Alphabet. I'm in Ilori today.
Okay. You're still in Kwara State.
Okay. It is raining heavily here too.
Oh, good.
Concerning the Dangote issue, I'm not surprised because I said it in the midst of my friends sometimes that cement, Dangote cement does not make cement price to come down. So that is quite possible that when the refinery is start operation, that the price may not come down. And my friends agreed. So that's Nigeria for you.
Wow.
Thank you. Good morning.
Thank you so much. Regards to Ilorin this morning. Well, Adiola Sunday saying, I wish you all the best. This is wet Tuesday here in Shaki. Oh, it's raining everywhere. Okay. PMB should listen to the voice of wisdom from Baba Obasanjo. That's Comrade Adiola Sunday from Shaki. Abide Miadekunle is also here. We thought President Buhari promised us change. This government has not improved the life of the common man in any way. We are worse than we were. Wow. Okay. Well, your opinion, that's the way you see it. We'll take another call.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning once again.
Morning, sir.
We need to address issues, not personalities. Masses should be worried or attacking personality or taking side with personality. We are suffering in Nigeria. There is no forward movement. We have not even started. We are progress. We are going backwards, and people are suffering. Masses are dying. So let us shift our attention from addressing people and personalities, but issues. So may God help us.
Thank you so much, sir. All right. Ogun Ogunlade Adewale saying, I just want to commend you for the great task you're doing in the studio. Thank you. Okay. Abide Miolukunle Bakare. Good morning, Diane Tola. Why is it that when we copy anything, we copy it poorly? We copy federalism, it was a disaster. We are copying the regulation now and we are doing it poorly. Where is the PIB bill that gives framework to deregulation? Brilliant comment right there. We'll go back to the phone line.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Morning, sir.
Thank you for having me. I'm Felicia Agumbiade from Oluyole.
Nice to have you, sir.
I want to speak about the refinery, Dangote, and the like.
Go ahead.
The issue is very complex, very, very complex. I remember when Obasanjo was leaving, he sold the refinery to Dangote and some other people, and immediately Yaradua came in. Yaradua cancelled that contract. Now we are now talking about Dangote building refinery being old. That hope is already, they already listing it in a situation that we should not have high expectation for that refinery. My question is, what stops Nigeria from mandating Shell, Chevron, and all these people that are exploring Nigeria crude to also refine within Nigeria as part of their contract? What stops Nigeria from operating a modular refinery, a series of modular refineries all over the country? Because this is simple distillation of a product. What stops Nigeria from making it? That was the time Femi Falana was trying to say that the oil rig should be given to states. That each state should have oil rig instead of doing individual. So if each state is having oil rig, they should be able to have refinery within their state and create jobs for people. Let's help this country. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much, Mr. Felicia. Let me quickly take some comments from Twitter. A couple of tweets here. Adegbola Lanre at 3G1338 saying, good morning, Mr. DNT. What concerns federal government with Dangote refinery? God save us. Prince Adegbola Lanre from Ogbomoso. I don't know. I'm sorry, I can't answer that question. Maybe Tola can answer. Shayo Ezekiel at EasyVent17 on Twitter. He's saying, you don't know someone's ability until you test their ability. OBJ thought PMB will perform, but he was disappointed. Wow. Okay, we'll go back to the phone line.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir. Nice to have you, sir.
I just want to talk about Obasanjo.
Okay.
Obasanjo is so how much to see now. Because apart from where I was, I never saw any government in Nigeria, since we go to democracy, that is doing good things. Even Obasanjo himself. Although Obasanjo is aware the also state from Ibadan to 2000, and the way they were completely now. About electricity, about Obasanjo, about the revenue, nothing done. So now is the way that brings money for us. The time the letter is not good again. They said he's supposed to use the letter for us. He said the letter is not good again, the letter is not good again. Because when the money is saying of body, not the saying of body, my body they are on the saying. Now, he's saying your body is not good again. So the way they're supposed to say anything, no. You don't want to hear anything from him again.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Sharing his own opinion. There, Saka Marafa. Ladiola at Ladiola 007 also on Twitter saying federal government only announced numbers of policemen deployed to monitor elections, but when it comes to the issue of crime fighting, no announcement is had. That's not fair now. Sometimes they announce at least. Ladiola, easy. I know you want to, Abidemi Olukunle Bakare, thank you. Bolanle Areo, thank you. Saying, are you surprised that Dangote refinery will not be selling for lesser price? Did you know how much they are selling cement before Dangote cement came? And now he's a businessman. Exactly. I'm sorry, I'm sounding like devil's advocate. Let's take one or two more calls.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. DNT.
Morning, sir. Nice to have you.
The election issue. If I do election issue to warrant that deployment of so many officers, if that amount, the police, the soldiers, the air force, everything were deployed in that large number to Boko Haram, will have been a thing of the past.
Well,
For the charging is at least for Lobasojo. In an attempt to not to listen to the voice of reasoning, the challenge is present the country and the possible way out. It is critically clear that the present government has nothing to offer this country.
Wow.
So where are we heading to?
Your opinion
Even there should be against responsibility of everyone.
Okay.
People in government, federal statement, opposition, everybody.
All right.
Not someone or group.
Thank you so much, Alaji.
It's not democracy.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate you. Abidemi Olukunle Bakare, Ilyas Agoro, Odede Sunday, Rabiu Kudirat. Thank you so much. We really appreciate your comments. That's the much we can take on the show today. We'll take some commercial, and up next will be Sport Tidbits. Don't go anywhere.
Got me fresh all day like ooh, I'm still fresh for gisting all day. My confidence is never low, never on fresh. Cause I've got healthy, strong teeth and more. I'll be 2-in-1. Got me fresh all day like ooh.
Use Oral-B 2-in-1 toothpaste for stronger, healthy teeth and long-lasting fresh breath.
My generation is unbreakable. We know they fear. For what? Till someone says, I will tell your mother.
Donatusu, put on your mask or else.
Wear it for her. Wear it for me. Everywhere you go, MTN. Spread the message, not the virus. Visit wearit4.me.
98.5, number 1 for hip-hop and R&B. 98.5. Going down. FM.
Good morning, Ibadan. Good morning, Oyo State. Good morning, Nigeria. Time check at 7:31 a.m. And you already know that it's time to talk sport once again. Right on Oluyole, 98.5 FM. The trailblazer, the pride of the nation. We're the best in the West, ladies and gentlemen. Boluwa Jogmalaisia once again to bring you up to speed with all the happenings in the world of sports. Bring you the latest, the hottest, and of course, the juiciest news. Not to forget, exclusive interviews that you can only get on this radio dial. Yes, on today's show, we're ready to bring you, and of course to drop it like it's hot. Ladies and gentlemen, tell your friends, tell your enemies that Spotted Beat is on the radio this lovely Tuesday morning. Don't forget you can listen to us live. Just visit www.bswest.tv/listen or watch the live stream on Facebook and of course on Twitter. On Facebook, just search Oluyole 98.5 FM, and on Twitter at Oluyole FM. Do follow us and of course get to watch all our shows on that particular platform. You can also listen on Radio Garden. We're also on Instagram at Oluyole 98.5 FM. Yes, keep it coming, keep the conversation coming in this morning, and of course a massive shout out to listeners on Agility FM 92.1 and Okyogun FM 96.3. On Spotted Beat this lovely morning, we'll be starting from the local scene, taking a look at guidelines reeled out by the Nigerian National League. Yes, that's the league, that's the body responsible for organizing the most important league in Nigeria. That's Nigeria National League, where Oyo State currently have 2 representatives, talking about Crown FC and Shooting Star Sports Club of Ibadan. They've ruled out so many conditions that must be met before the league can start once again. I'll be bringing you up to speed with all of that. I also have news from Enugu this morning, and of course from Lafia, talking about Nasarawa United. We'll also be taking a look at updates coming from the Federal Ministry of Youth and Sport as regards the resumption of contact sport. What's the update? You want to stick around this morning to catch up with all of those updates and many more. Yes, news also coming from our French Open. Yes, starting on the 27th of September. And yesterday we had 2 important Premier League matches. Yes, Brighton and of course Chelsea. They slugged it out yesterday at the Annex Stadium. Yes, for updates of that, you want to stick around. And of course, the reaction of Chelsea manager Frank Lampard. This time anymore, it's time to enjoy Unspotted Bay this lovely morning. Just sit back, relax, and of course enjoy this beautiful ride this lovely morning as I kickstart from the most important league in Nigeria, talking about the Nigerian National League, where clubs participating in the forthcoming season of the NNL have been requested to submit to the secretariat of the league body their preferred venues for home matches on or before the 23rd of September. At this very year, such home grounds the NNL has started must be safe and appropriate and should meet the facility requirements as stipulated in the NNL rule books. The Chief Operating Officer of the most important league in Nigeria, the NNL, Mr. Emmanuel Adesanya, said the venue for the competitive league games must be different from training pitches and that both shall be inspected before the commencement of the new season, which means you can no longer train and play matches on a single pitch. Yes, you must have a different pitch for training and a different one for league matches. The stadium's assessment that will come up later on is to ascertain compliance and the level of readiness to host NNL 2021 league matches. Speaking further on many more guidelines, Adesanya said that clubs are now mandated to provide functional electronic scoreboard in their home grounds, and in the absence of such, a manual scoreboard with a black background, minimum size of 8x5 meters, should be in place at that particular home ground. Other requirements include a standard substitution board with a minimum measurement of 14 inches by 10 inches. He also said that a fortified perimeter fencing of at least 2 meters in height must be made available, must be put in place at various match venues. Also a functional dressing rooms rather, at least 2, one for home team, the other for away team, must be made available, and that of the match officials as well. Very, very important. But this one, I warned that the NNL may consider an alternative venue for stadiums that fall short of the requirements stipulated by the NNL. Meanwhile, the NNL has also mandated clubs to supply official email address and other contact details. This is with a view to put an end to sending official correspondences to individuals or unauthorized email accounts. Well, updates from the NNL as regards the resumption of the league. Well, the NNL said that the league will only resume in adherence to the instructions of the Nigerian Football Federation, the Federal Ministry of Youth and Sport, and the Presidential Task Force regulations on COVID-19 protocols. Yes, right now that Shooting Stars home ground is currently under renovation. Yes, it's obvious that Shooting Stars won't be playing at that particular ground in the forthcoming season, but of course we keep our fingers crossed and wait for the Ministry of Youth and Sports in your state to come up with alternative match venue for Shooting Stars. All right, away from the let's straight to Enugu this lovely morning, where 2016 MPFL channel the Enugu Rangers has announced the postponement of the earlier resumption date. It gave its returning new players for the new league season. After a brief meeting yesterday, the general manager Prince Davidson Owome stated that the postponements became necessary due largely to the current announcement from the NCDC and the PTF over COVID-19 health protocols. You recall that both old and new players have been instructed to report for duties at the weekend following earlier information on the lifting of suspension of football activities. But with the latest directive reversing the earlier order, management decided to call a halt for the resumption of activities in obedience to the COVID-19 health protocols. From Enugu to Lafia, when the MPFL side and Nassau United have also postponed the resumption slated this Monday till further notice. This is due to the recent announcement by the PTF on COVID-19 protocols. Straight away from there, let's check out for update with the Federal Ministry of Youth and Sports, where Sunday Dare, the minister, has assured that discussions are ongoing with the federal government and the Presidential Task Force on COVID-19 over the resumption of contact sports, including football, in the country. The coronavirus outbreak, hottest sporting event in Nigeria since March, but last month the federal government lifted restrictions on non-contact outdoor sports. The federal government on Thursday stated that the ban on contact sports, including football, was not lifted despite after the Presidential Task Force on COVID-19 in its guidelines stated that it had removed restrictions on sporting leagues. Well, as of September 12th, 160 new confirmed cases were recorded, with 2 deaths were recorded in the country. To date, 56,177 cases have been confirmed, with 44,088 discharged. Well, with all those figures, it looks as if the league won't be starting anytime soon. But of course, just like the minister said, discussions are currently going on with authorities to ensure that football returns in the country away from Nigeria. Let's quickly monitor one of our players in Tunisia. His name is Antonio Poto. It was a sweet season for Super Eagles striker Antonio Poto in the Tunisian League One as he emerged the top scorer in his maiden appearance in that particular league. The lanky attacker moved to Tunisian side Monastir a few years back after finishing the Nigerian Professional Football League as top scorer for Lobby Stars. The Tunisian League One ended on Sunday with Okpoto's club Monastir playing out a 1-1 draw against Ben Gueden. Okpoto scored 13 goals to emerge top scorer and end the Golden Boot Award. All right, away from football, let's take a break and head straight to the world of tennis, where Britain's former world number 1 Andy Murray has been given a wild card to the main event draw for this month's French Open. Well, the 33-year-old Scot, currently ranked 110, required hip resurfacing surgery last year to save his career and reach the US Open second round this month. Murray, winner of 3 Grand Slams and French finalist in 2016, has not appeared at the event since losing to Stan Wawrinka in the 2017 semi-final. This year's first round of Roland Garros starts on the 27th of September, and it promises to be a very, very interesting competition as we'll be looking forward to that very one that will be going down in Paris, France. All right, back to the world of football this morning and talking the Premier League, where Chelsea got their 2020-2021 Premier League season off to a perfect start as they defeated Brighton and Hove Albion 3-1 at the Annex Stadium on Monday night. The win means that Chelsea have become just the 3rd team in the Premier League history after Manchester United and Arsenal to win 2,000 points. For Manchester United, they've got 2,234 points. For Arsenal, it's 2,014 points, and Chelsea are now third with 2,000 points. Chelsea boss Frank Lampard handed debut to summer signing Kai Havertz and forward Timo Werner. Chelsea took the lead in that game in the 23rd minute as Jorginho converted from the penalty spot after Matt Ryan fouled Timo Werner inside the penalty box. 9 minutes into the second half, Brighton equalized thanks to Leonardo Trossard, who found the bottom corner from outside the penalty area. But of course, Chelsea retook the lead almost immediately in the 56th minute of a sensational Reece James strike to put the Blues 2-1 ahead on the night. And in the 60th minute of the encounter, Chelsea extended their lead as Scott Zuma's touch from a corner was deflected into the net. Chelsea now occupy the top position on the Premier League log Behind the leaders, Arsenal Football Club, and second place, the Leicester City. Up next for Chelsea is a tough clash against the champions Liverpool at Stamford Bridge on Sunday. Let's listen to Frank Lampard, the manager of Chelsea, speaking about yesterday's match.
Good evening, Frank. We were just discussing the merits of that strike from Reece James. I bet that had you off your seat.
Yeah, good evening. Yeah, it did. And we needed it, to be fair, because having just gone 1-1, we wanted our best in that period of the game, came out second half, and Reece has got that in him, and he's a player of such quality. When you think about some of the right backs that are around now, the young English right backs that we're producing, and they have that extra bit of quality, so you try and get Reece in areas where he can be a real threat for us as well, and that inside position that he turned up in, got a great strike, great quality on him, and he gets a good goal.
Great to start with a win, Frank, but how would you assess the performance from your team?
I thought we were okay. I really liked the work ethic and the discipline of the team. I think when you analyse the fact that we've been together pretty much as a team for 4 days after the international breaks, we had a lot of quarantines before that, new signings. Kai Havertz comes into us a week ago.
All right, there, listen to your Frank Lampard, Chelsea manager, praising the quality in his team. Let's go on this quick commercial break, and when we return, we'll be checking out the other game played in the Premier League at Leicester, and of course, taking other updates from other parts of Europe.
Mikolo, my engine sounds like brand new. Is it not the same Mobile Super 1000 you used to service it?
Not the same Mobile Super 1000, but levels don't change.
Yes, Mobile Super 1000 XHP is now improved to meet standard of quality APISN. So, whether you buy Mobile Super 1000 XHP, Mobile Super 2000 semi-synthetic, or even the new fully synthetic Mobile Super 3000, you are guaranteed the APISN perfection in every drop.
Make it mobile.
Welcome back, still Sports Beat on Oluyole 98.5 FM. In the other game I played last night in the Premier League, as Wolverhampton Wanderers showed no signs of fatigue as they kicked off their Premier League campaign with a 2-0 win against Sheffield United on Monday night, just 34 days after losing to Sevilla. Nuno Espirito's side looked fresher than expected as they made a blistering start at Bramley Lane. Raul Jimenez and Roman Saiz put Wolves 2 goals up after just 6 minutes, and the visitors were in control for the rest of the game. And of course, good victory for Wolverhampton Wanderers against Sheffield United. Well, I'm informing that 4 positive coronavirus tests have been returned in the Premier League in the week of testing prior to the start of the season between Monday the 7th of September and Sunday the 13th of September. A total of 2,131 players and club staff members were given tests, but of course 4 returned positive, which those positive a very quick recovery. Well, away from that, Barcelona for Lionel Andres Messi has topped the Forbes list for highest earning footballers in 2020. Forbes estimated Messi's yearly earning at $126 million, with Juventus Cristiano Ronaldo second on $117 million. Neymar was in third place, with Paris Saint-Germain teammate Kylian Mbappe placed fourth. 3 Premier League players, Mohamed Salah, Paul Pogba, and David De Gea made the top 10, as did Real Madrid and Wolves forward Gareth Bale. Let me just take you through the list quickly. Lionel Messi of Barcelona and Argentina, $126 million. Cristiano Ronaldo second, $117 million. Neymar of PSG and Brazil, $96 million. Kylian Mbappe of PSG and France, $42 million. Mohamed Salah, $37 million of Liverpool and Egypt. Paul Pogba, Anthony Griezmann, Gareth Bale, Robert Lewandowski, and David De Gea make up the top 10 on that particular list. Neymar's punishment for being one of the 5 players sent off following a brawl at the end of PSG's defeat to Marseille will be reviewed later tomorrow. The French Football League announced that yesterday the world's most expensive footballer was shown the red card scored in stoppage time of the 1-0 loss at the Parc des Princes alongside teammates Latvin Kozwak and Leonardo Paredes, as well as Marcel's Doni Benetol and Jordan Amavi. Neymar insisted that Alvaro Gonzalez called him a monkey in a series of furious tweets late on Sunday after he was dismissed for slapping the Marseille defender on the back of the head. According to the tweet, look at the racism, that's why I hate him. Neymar, who was returning from coronavirus quarantine, said as he left the pitch. Gonzalez later denied making a racist comment. The only regret I have is not hitting him in the face, Neymar posted on Instagram later on the night. The LFP's disciplinary commission, which will decide the punishment, could investigate the Brazilian's accusations against Gonzalez, who Marcel claimed was spat on by Angel Di Maria. Any racist behavior carries a maximum suspension of 10 matches. Spitting directly at another player can lead to a ban of up to 6 matches. Kozawa, meanwhile, could be suspended for up to 7 matches for violent conduct after aiming a punch at opposition fullback Amavi. Well, that'll be all on Sported Bit this lovely morning. Big thanks to everyone who's been part of today's production, and bigger thanks goes to you for listening and of course watching on our social media platforms, Facebook, Twitter, and of course Instagram this morning. Let's show returns tomorrow morning. Till then, do have a lovely day and stay safe.
Listen all you want. It's always free. Thanks for showing us the way to better radio.
Oluyole 98.5 FM.
Here we go.
Yes, this is the station Oluyole 98.5 FM. It's 10 minutes to 8. Welcome to our commercial belt.
Papa John, I am afraid. Have you heard of coronavirus?
Yes, I have heard. But you can get it through contact with a person who may have the virus or live in an area with ongoing spread.
That is the problem. Before you know a person has it, you may have already gotten it.
That is why we must stop the spread.
How?
Do not shake anybody's hand and avoid touching people. Do not touch surfaces such as rails or stairs, public door handles, etc. In case you do, wash your hands properly with soap or use a sanitizer. Avoid crowded places and practice physical distancing at all times.
Physical distancing? What is that?
It means maintaining a 2-meter distance from the person nearest to you at all times. Most important, remember to wash your hands regularly with soap and under running water for at least 20 seconds, especially after blowing your nose, coughing or sneezing, going to the bathroom, or even before preparing and eating food. Avoid touching your eyes, nose and mouth with unwashed hands.
Thank you, my husband. I feel a lot better.
Now go and wash your hand with soap and under running water for at least 20 seconds so you will feel best. This message is brought to you by